So I want to tell you about this weird part of our calendar that's actually got not one, not two, but four New Years. Seems to be a very Jewish thing. Can't have just one. You know, people like to joke that when you have two Jews in a room, you have three opinions. Well, maybe this is part of that. You just can't have one New Year. I want to tell you about each of them. And I got some images maybe to help you do that. Now, the first New Year actually comes at the beginning of the calendar in the first month. Maybe this. See that? Very nice. Got those nice flowers. They're very smiley and happy because it's spring. And that one falls on the first of Nisan, the month that we celebrate Passover. So for us in the U.S. and the Northern Hemisphere, it's when we have spring. And so it's a new year in which we're celebrating spring and coming out of winter, and it's a rebirth and renewal, and things are starting to grow and be green. And so spring brings us that celebration and that newness. That's the first New Year. Now the second New Year after that comes in the sixth month of the Hebrew calendar. And here's your memory thing. Let me get that in the middle. Moo. Got that? Do that again. Moo. That's on the first month of Elul. Of all these New Years, it's probably the least well known and the one that's really not observed in any way. But there was a time when all the Israelites would bring some of their cattle to pay the priests, because the priests didn't have land or own things. They just ran the temple. So they brought their cattle kind of as a tax and a payment. And so that's the second of the New Years. And while we don't do that anymore, I think maybe it's a New Year that, in a way, connects us to not just cows, but animals, and our relationship to them and with whom we share the earth and how we care for them, how we eat them if we choose to eat them. So this New Year acknowledges that relationship in that part of our lives. So, ready for the next New Year? The next New Year. Shofar, yes. That is on the first day of the seventh month of Tishrei. That's Rosh Hashanah. That's actually called the New Year, even though it's the seventh month. Another weird thing about the calendar. But this New Year is all about the beginning. It's the birthday of the world. It's a time that we begin a time of reflection and ask for forgiveness for our sins and try to make us and our community and our families and our world a better place. So that's New Year number 3. New Year number 4 comes in the Hebrew month of Shavat. There we go. See that? Mr. Happy Tree over there. And that call comes in the month or the holiday. Well, actually, the New Year's on the 15th of Shavat, or Tu B'Shvat, as it's known. And Tu B'Shvat is a festival of the trees. It's actually a holiday in which we celebrate our connection to nature and the environment, and celebrate all the gifts and blessings we get, and also acknowledge that we're responsible in partnership for taking care of the environment. So there's your 4 New Year's I want you to know about. Let me do my review. We've got Nisan, Passover, that's spring. There's your lovely flowers. We've got Moo, our first of Elul, which used to be the Israelites giving cattle, but also thinking of our connection and relationship to the animals and creatures of the world. Then we have our shofar and our Rosh Hashanah and our New Year. Be right back. And last but not least, in the month of Shavat, Tu B'Shvat, the New Year of the trees and our relationship to nature. So there you go about our 4 New Years. I'm curious to see which one you think is the most important one. So go and figure that out. Have fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.